Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Racing Driving League Season 15, round number 11 of the Championship. Welcome to Silverstone for the British Grand Prix with some very grotesque looking cars on the grid tonight because EA have ruined the game again. Ethan's in the Williams. I have no idea what's happened to him. That's yet another glitch. So we'll have one car in Williams tonight, but I'm your host, Zach RC, bringing you all the action as always, and it's my absolute pleasure to bring back to the commentary box Season 11 champion and Monaco race winner from earlier this season, Tony Pope. Pope, how you doing, mate?
That's the only thing I wanted to do, so we're back and we're ready to do this all over again.
I just clocked for the intro that I think I must have unmuted then muted again, so we've missed part of that, but it's okay. So we're back. So
At least we're here.
We're with issues.
We can.
Already, yep. We're both here. That's the thing.
Issues on the stream and issues with the game. As you obviously you made mention to the cars looking a little bit different. Obviously, some drivers have been lucky enough to have the special liveries, like the Williams, as we can see.
Oh, yeah, that's
Ethan,
crazy, yeah.
who is running.
I just realised that.
Yeah, the Silverstone Grand Prix livery of the Williams, which is quite ironic because we are here at Silverstone, so this will be exciting. The only thing I'm going to get a bit confused is finding which car is on the first lap, because I'd normally look for a team, but I'm looking for a coloured dot, which is a lot different to normal.
Definitely, but hopefully we'll do the best we can over the course of tonight's action, and we'll just see what goes down. Right, so the first car we're going to look at here, so we'll give you a fair bit of time here. So we'll go to Ethan on his qualifying lap in the Williams. So, Pope, do you want to take us around a lap of Silverstone?
I would love to. So going into the fail chicane here, you want to brake on those curves using as much entry room as you can, because this final section is so important to nail down for that start-finish straight. Crossing this line now, this is where the time actually starts. Going into turn one, you want to be flat out, ride that curb, just like Ethan does it there, and try to use all the track and keep it on the left-hand side. For going into Village and the Loop, this is one of my most favourite parts of the track. It's so fun to fling the car around, the weight transferring completely. Going onto the Wellington straight where you're backed flat out. This track has so many opportunities for overtaking, one of them being here with a DRS straight. Going to see some moves probably down the inside, like we saw between the battle of Hamilton and Verstappen in 2021. Going through Luffield, I want to make sure this is right. Luffield and Brooklands and Woodcote, the section there is absolutely brilliant. And then go into the most famous corner on the track, I'd say. Maybe apart from Beckett's Cops corner, flat out. Making sure you don't invalidate on that outside. It's very hard to do that, especially when your tyres are wearing off further in the race. Going through Maggots, Beckett and Chapel. I want to say I need to make sure I get all my corners right. If not, we'll go to the number system. DRS back active. Going under the bridge, another great straight, and we know how powerful DRS is in this year's game, so probably another place to see overtakes going into Stowe. Hit the curb, you want to be on throttle through all that corner. It's so dangerous to do that, but that's how you get the most out of your time. PJ with a 1:26.5. Will we see Ethan beat that lap time coming through the final corner now? Turn 18. Let's see, it's a 1:26.7.
Very close, but regardless, that was good. Thank you, Pope, for taking us around Silverstone. Have you ever won here in a league race before, or not quite?
I have.
Oh,
yeah, no, I've won it a couple of times. Obviously, TORL, I won it.
Oh yes, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, I forget I asked. Yeah,
and yeah, a couple of other tracks. It's one of my favourites, so I've really come to love this track. I used to dislike it, but I really love it now. I see Badman taking P1 with 1:25.970 with Curtis just 0.032 back. So looking very close between them two. This could be a very, very exciting race on our hands.
Definitely, of course, RDL itself always very exciting. Silverstone even better, and I must say, Pope, I do agree with your sentiment there. I have come to enjoy Silverstone quite a bit more myself. I think as the Grand Prix in real life have got more exciting, this track's been a lot more fun, so I think it just sort of culminates with that. So yeah, looking here, so Badman on top right now. I said the first car in the 1 minute 25s. Curtis in second, only just out of that 1 minute 25s. It's 1:26.002. Grimio there in third place, of course. He's got a lot of ground to make up. He's 10th place in the Drivers' Championship. If you told me at the start of the season that we'd see the reigning champion Grimio there, 87 points off the lead after half the season, I would have shot you in the face, told you you're crazy. But here we are.
I know it's absolutely crazy. I don't think it's over though. We're hitting near enough the halfway point of the season. Remember, this calendar's so long. Got an extension of Qatar and Las Vegas still to come. 2 brand new tracks, which I'm so excited to watch the cars around. So I'm excited, but he's still got it. He's still got it. I know he does. but Sniper has been so good this season. It's probably been the best I've seen him drive. So he will be wanting to keep that close, but it's now only 25 points between him and Fan in that driver standings.
Very close between the pair of them. I see there is Fan P15 at the moment on his first lap on the medium tyres, as we've often seen him do. He does enjoy a bit of that strategy during qualifying. I've just seen some move at times. I believe that was Lucky Lambert who's gone 5th fastest. I could be wrong. It might be the other one, but in Paris is P9. So I've seen someone go up, but I could be wrong as to who it was. So that's the thing we're here with us using the F1 wildcards for tonight's race. So Shane crashes in Maggotts and Beckett, or the exit of Beckett's. I don't know where he put it. There it is, off on your left-hand side of your screen. And Sniper Hunter goes fastest by a couple tenths there in the American car.
Yeah, the 4 temps there by Sniper, he will be very, very happy with that. Yeah, Staz's stripes all over that car. It is quite sickening here to have it at the British Grand Prix, but we'll make do, we will make do. Grubio there in P4, 60 behind. These two were having a little laugh and banter about their time trial and how much practice they've been putting in for this race, and they were quite close together, so I think we still got to see the actual time there from Grubio.
It definitely shows. Of course, the one driver we are missing is crucially Mr. TJ, who wasn't here last week for Austria, and he's dropping back in the championship fight. Remember, he was Sniper's main contender earlier on in the season, Pope. Of course, you're on the track for a bit of that. You're in here for part of it as well. So you've seen the early stage of this title fight from 2 different perspectives, but now it looks like fans in the catbird seat to try and take Sniper.
Definitely. I think with being in the driver's seat, it gives you such a different perspective. You can feel the tension when you're on the grid of making sure these drivers who may not typically fight for a title when the competition was Grubio and Landlord and luckily myself in the past few seasons. So these drivers now have a massive opportunity to catch up and show what they can do when they're leading a championship, which most of them haven't led a championship, or if they have, not for a very long time. So you feel the tension when you're on the grid, and it's quite different from seeing it on the bird's eye view that we get here in the commentary box.
Definitely, man. I've only driven one sort of short season of league racing in my life, but I can sort of get the scope of it. Imagine just what's going on. I see Lycon there going P12 with 1 minute 26.7. He's done 3 laps on those soft tyres. You think he might have called himself in at this point and put on some fresh ones.
I mean, personally, I like to give a good go out my quali. I don't really do that much practice, truth be told. So my qualifying is a practice because I want to get into the zone when I'm ready to hit a lap. So doing that, he's might just be getting testing the circuit and seeing how those soft tyres wear off, because remember, Silverstone high degradation track, you're going around corners at almost 150 miles an hour, especially at the end of Maggotts and Beckett, you're just going down to 120. The tyres will wear out on this track, so we could see a 2-stop here at this race.
I think we've seen a 2-stop a fair few times in the past, but that's partially due to safety cars and things like that. I think back to last season, which was almost a turning point in the title fight when Grumio spun in front of the field at the exit of Beckett's, going on to the hang straight, and took a number of good cars out, and I believe he got a qualifying ban for the next race, if my memory serves me correctly. Of course, he has been on a brilliant run of form in the last couple of weeks, if he won't mind me saying so. Of course, collision with Dan in Canada. I mean, and the race in Austria didn't overly go to plan for him, I don't think. I'm trying to remember what happened last week, but my memory is fading for me at this moment in time, so I have to come back to that one later on. But it's definitely allowed drivers such as, look at Websy, of course, Smoking Cheese, obviously in the league lap, of course, he's still joining from this season, and it's going on to that lap. And what I must say is not a nice looking red and green machine there. I see a car going past him, which is looking a lot nicer. I'm not sure who that car actually belongs to, though. It's purpose. This would be not BJ's machine. I'm sorry, I'm distracting myself. I've got to look through it. It's Dan's machine. So, again, we are seeing quite a few drivers here. We're trying to see a few more personal liveries in the field. Of course, some of them are just special ones to sort of go with their team. I see Curtis is on the Alfa Romeo livery from Monza. We saw Ethan in the Williams. But yeah, we're seeing liveries. Some nice, some not, in my opinion.
Yeah, but hopefully it's a one-time thing for us here at the commentary booth, because it is very hard to keep eyes on the track and making sure who's who. You really do appreciate when we can actually drive in a normal car sport. There's once again, as I think we talked about in the Azerbaijan stream, Co-Masters and EA really not putting their full development and full ideas into the game, and it's left it a sort of buggy mess, but nonetheless, we're still here to enjoy the race, and we see an Audi car. That's quite nice to go and see. I do have to say that Audi is going to be great, maybe on the grid in 2026. So some of these drivers will still be racing, hopefully with us in 2026. So we'll see who will be the first drivers for the Audi team.
I'm trying to see who the Audi belongs to here, but if I have a quick scroll through, coming towards the line.
It's Paris.
It is Paris 232, who sits in P14.
Who is on a lap?
27.6.
So I'm gonna keep on board with this lap. He really taking the curves here as Paris. It's nice to see him back on a grid, a lovable face and a great personality to have on and off the track. So let's see where he can place himself. To be honest, I've not really kept up too much. I've been on holiday and been moving into a new flat, which I'm in now. So I have a new little commentary booth. So it's all different for Pope, but it's nice to see some of those familiar faces back on track.
And it's nice to see you back in a familiar location, at least for me, because obviously I enjoy having you in here. I'm sure the viewers enjoy having you in here as well. Scrimmage goes fastest there, 1 minute 25.397, so puts him about a tenth or so in front of Sniper Hunter, who are now he's back on the back account there with Stars and Stripes, looking to try and fight back. And in a way, purely because he's worn this livery, I don't want him to win tonight. I feel like showing up to the British Grand Prix with a US livery is practically sacrilege.
Ooh, Paris taking a snap almost there on exit of Beckett's into Chapel. Yeah, Sniper Hunter playing a villain here today with that American livery, but Grumio improving by 7/10. That just shows you that Grumio is really not showing his full cards, and maybe him being in 10th right now in the championship is going to play to mind games that Grumio is always good with, especially when he is on track with his strategy calls mainly.
I mean, when he's on it, we'll definitely know for sure when that happens. I see Dan there moving up the order. He's up to P15. The Sniper goes fastest once again. And I see BJ putting it in third as well. And Fan goes.
It's very close. Less than a 10th separating the top three.
So tight.
That is ridiculous.
And she's there in fourth place now, pushing Fan down to fifth. Badman is almost 3 tenths down in this first sector, so not a good start to that lap. Lucky's on his way down towards Cop, sits in P8 right now in that very nice looking orange and orangey black machine. Looks quite nice, to be honest. And one thing I have thought that's been pointed out to me in the Discord is that in terms of pit stops, because obviously these are all F1 wildcasts, so there's no team specific thing. So we could see some drivers going in for pit stops at the same time and getting held up. So we could see chaos should there be a safety car.
Yeah, we'll be sure to keep an eye out on the pit lane. We always do, but an extra eye just to make sure that these drivers are having good pit stops. It would be unfortunate if the race does get decided on that, but we will have to wait and see.
Well, we should be prime proof that the EA and Codemasters do need to get their act together in terms of what is happening on this F1 23 game, in particular online. Personally, I've been quite satisfied with the game because the only time I come online is to watch these lot go around in circles. But obviously, there are people who play the game a lot more in terms of online and come in here specifically for league racing. Pope, I feel like you probably do that more or less. You're only on here for league, correct?
Yeah, I only do it for league racing. I only buy the games for league racing, so for it to be neglected as it is, it does quite annoy me, I cannot lie.
It breaks us a little art, but you know what? we get by. Right, so more or less everyone in the pit lane now. So we see Cheese and Sniper the last two in. So yeah, everyone is in the pit lane as it stands. Well, we've got cars coming for their final runs in a minute or so. We'll see Judge making their last adjustments, and we'll get going for the final run, which will be very exciting. So we'll get to see everyone out there giving it their everything on fresh sets of soft tyres, really pushing it as best they can. I see JB and Sniper look to be in the same garage for this race. I think BJ and Cheese as well. So we're sort of figuring these out as to who's going to be where. But whether they change between quali and the race, I'm not overly sure. So we'll have to wait and see there.
I don't think anyone's too sure. Yeah, it's a bit annoying. But like we keep saying, let's make sure it doesn't affect it. But 3 minutes left. Zach, I'm going to ask you, as the lead commentator, who's going to take pole here at Silverstone and who's going to win the race and maybe even your podium while all the cars are heading out onto that outlap?
I want to say Grumio. I feel like this is the week he gets it back together. Of course, he's got 2 wins already this season. He won Saudi Arabia and he won in Australia as well. So I think this is the one where he gets himself together. Because remember last season, obviously it's a different game, but he was very good at this circuit. He pulled out a lead before he made the mistake, and that was what set the race apart for him. If he keeps it on the track, keeps it in motion, and gets on pole here to put himself in front of Sniper, then I see no reason why he can't win the race as well.
I completely agree. I think it is Grumio, but I think the race could be really tossed up, mainly because of the pit stops, and I feel like the racing's going to be so close. The field is not spread by. It hits a second when we hit to P10, so hopefully we'll see the top 10 all stuck together in the race, and that DRS trim will be magnificent to watch, and hopefully some crazy moves that made, obviously crazy but safe.
Definitely. We'll hope everyone keeps things under control, especially now as we get towards this final stage of qualifying. Just 2 minutes left to run, so time for everyone else to get on the racetrack now. A lap time here, a fast lap is about 1 minute 25, so you guys need to be out here in the next 25 seconds or so. Or you need to be out the pit lane and getting ready to go on your last runs, otherwise you're really not getting to the line in time. It's been very close for guys like Sniper Hunter, and I see JB has gone out quite late from what I can see. Yes, he has. I see cars going up behind him. I think BJ's out there on the circuit now. I see. I'm just seeing cars. Paris is out, but he stopped here, so he could be in trouble. And he's trying to get some clean air, so he's only have a few seconds to get around in time. He needs to be right on it on these last laps. I see PJ and Lycon have started their final efforts. Next car of that is Ethan in the Williams. We'll say he's in the Williams because he's the only one in an actual car. Cheese has crashed. Cheese has crashed here, I think, on the Wellington Straight. Where is Cheese? What has happened to him? Who was around him at the time? I'm not quite sure.
I think he might have been in the pits actually. I don't think he's set an extra lap.
Oh yeah, you might be right. I think you probably are. Yeah, there's
which is
flags. Right,
before a bit risky because isn't that far in front of fans, so I think Cheese is just batting a bullet to just be a bit further behind in the race, but it'll be exciting to watch. But look at all the cars queuing up here going into the final sector. This is, like you say, going to be very, very close for these drivers.
It'll be a very exciting end to qualifying indeed. 40 seconds to go. So everyone's probably got enough time to make it back around again. It's been very tight for these guys, especially further back. JB's got around quite quickly. I see. I saw BJ's quite far back. He's in Stowe right now. So I think everyone should make it round. I see. I think Ethan is on effort right now. He's almost a tenth and a half up on his previous effort. We're getting towards the last couple of seconds now. Only Dan staying in the pits and Cheese retiring. So here we go. Then final 10 seconds as Dan retires from qualifying as well. Everyone on the racetrack now, currently on a lap. As the checker flag waiting to fall now. And here we go. So Zach Sherman with the next car around. He pulls it into the pits and validated his lap. So qualifying over for him. Here comes Scotty Gobnoff for Stowe. His best effort. Well, he's yet to set an effort so far. It's on 1 minute 4 in his second sector. So we'll see what it looks like here off the last corner. And charging down the Hamilton straight towards the line. 1 minute 27, I think. Yep, 1 minute 27 keeps him the lowest of the 17 or 15 cars still in qualifying with 17th on the grid as of right now. Next car through will be Grumio here, who is he's almost a quarter of a second up on his last effort. That'll be enough to put him a couple tenths in front of Sniper, who needs to improve now because all of a sudden his teammate is on looking for pole position. Of course, these two on the front row teammates, Alpine normally, the F1 World Car. Same old story for Grumio, 1 minute 25.1, putting him a tenth and a half clear of Sniper, who's down in the second sector. So could be in trouble here. Fan through the last corner now, towards the line. I see Lucky Lama goes P6, Fan goes P4. White car coming behind, that is not bad, man. I missed the wrong guy completely. Websy goes fourth. Good lap. I see JB coming in as well. Coming hot off the last corner. P10 for JB. BJ retiring. Is he binned it or is he... Where is Paris? He has. I think he's put it off in the gravel. We're seeing drivers starting to come through now. Drivers retiring from the session in these late stages. Coming to the end of it now.
There's a chaotic end to qualifying there. I think that is all the drivers done apart from Paris,
the line
who crossed the line there.
It was 5.4 seconds down.
Yeah.
Nothing more to say. Right, so
Ethan's he's just having a nice time crossing that line.
Thoroughly enjoying himself. Right then, Grumio is on pole position for the British Grand Prix. Anyone surprised?
I don't think anyone is. I think he's the one that showed the most pace from the messages that were in the Discord between his playful banter with Sniper Hunter. But Sniper Hunter, I think, got a lot of dirty air there from JB. But that's how close the field was in that final sector, making sure everyone gets the best bit of track. But it works for some and it doesn't work for others. And I think Sniper really paid the price there.
Definitely. I think that banter between the two of them will definitely dry up once the lights go out in a few minutes' time. So we'll go through your top 10 then before we go for the intermission before the Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the British Grand Prix, round 11 of season 15 of the Racers Driving League, and the return of our wonderful co-commentator Tatsby Pope. Looking forward to getting this one underway. Unfortunately, we couldn't quite get Pope to sing the national anthem because, I mean, I assume he knows it, but isn't going to sing it. Regardless, though, we should be in for a very exciting race for you tonight. Pope, give me your thoughts. Welcome back.
Obviously, I prefer racing, I cannot lie, but I am so happy to be back in the commentary booth. You don't understand. I've been excited for this day. I've moved in, and I was like, you know what, this commentary is going to be great, and hopefully we'll have the race to match the commentary efforts.
Definitely. Now, if you had to get, as we get ready for the formation, if you had to give me a winner here, who are you going for?
When I'm going to say BJ.
Now for BJ, okay.
I feel like the tensions between the two Alpines, which obviously we don't have the Alpines here today because of an error with the update. Co-Masters, please fix your game. But I think BJ might take advantage of the tussling between what would be the two Alpines of Sniper and Blaze. So hopefully my prediction goes right.
Hopefully we should have an absolute blast as we get ready for the formation lap here. Again, you see Sniper on your left-hand side of your screen in second place, wearing an absolutely disgusting Stars and Straps livery, which shouldn't be worn here at the British Grand Prix of all places. Said that for later on in the season. We'll go back to Texas and then to Las Vegas. So Scrimio leads them away then. Sniper second, BJ third. Two drivers going on the soft tyres there, Pope. Cheese and Badman, both starting on the C3s.
Doesn't surprise me from Cheese. Cheese is very bold with strategies and will make sure his strategy does work. We've seen that in not just here, as his time has already shown that, but in other leagues as well. He's very good with time management and that type of strategy. He's a bold guy, and he will make sure he gets the fastest strategy in terms of tyre. Maybe not the most productive because you'd go for the C5s for the hards, but yeah, I'm not surprised. But I can't remember who it was on the other softs, but hopefully we'll see them two jump up the field.
A number of different coloured cars taking the grid, not what we're used to at all here for this season's British Grand Prix. Round number 11 of the championship about to get underway. We're just waiting on those 5 red lights for 26 laps here at the fabulous Silverstone circuit with the return of Tatsby Pope as our co-commentator, and it is lights out, foot to the floor, go, go, go. Good get away from both starters there. BJ going to try and make a hole in the middle as they charge towards turn 1. BJ into second place. Grimio leads away. There goes BJ and Sniper side by side into the first corner. BJ gets away out in front. You see yellow flag for the back there already, and that is Dan who's gone around at the exit of Abbey's. They go into Village, and it's Grimio in the lead as they make their way through into the loop. BJ now second, Sniper third. I see Websy and Fan going at it, and Cheese trying to get involved as well. Fan around the outside, going to try to make something happen here. Doesn't quite do it. Websy stays in front, and Cheese goes to his inside as they charge down the Wellington straight. Sniper following BJ in the toe, but Grimio's gotten away to an absolutely stonker of a lead, and he leads in the opening moments.
Yeah, great start there by Grimio. The hard tyres just not working there for Sniper, but for who they are working for is Websy, who has done very well there to keep his P4, especially ahead of Cheese, who is on those soft tyres, who is going around cops with C110 P5. We've seen accidents happen here before, but that was fantastic move there by Cheese, and he's up into P5.
Good stuff already. So Grimio away with the lead, BJ second, Sniper running in third place. Losing out at the start, BJ making that hole through the middle to try and pull in front of both of them, but couldn't quite do it. Fortunately though, to stay in second place as everyone sort of tries to even things out, but crucial for Dan here that he's only 2.5 seconds off the pace after the incident in the opening corner, and Fergie time falling back too. You see Ethan down P17, he's lost 5 places off the start, so not a good start for the Williams man at all. As here comes Grimio off the last corner, back down the Hamilton straight to complete the first lap of this British Grand Prix. 25 more to go, and BJ in second, as the Sniper still in third. Those guys maintaining position there. Webb's looking to try and close on the pair of them, and she's there in fifth, depending from Fan. In sixth, yellow flag again, and that is PJ, who's gone around in the exit of the last corner. Has he got damage? He's got lost an end plate, so he's had to go another lap to get back to the pit to repair that. So, unfortunate stuff for multiple runners in the early going.
Yeah, such a shame, but Danny, who was struggling at the back of the pack after turn 1 with what may have been an incident, not too sure, though he's a bit further behind, he's still catching up to Fergie time, so it's not really lost him that much time because all the cars ahead are just battling tooth and nail.
Definitely very exciting stuff here. Grimio away but to a couple seconds, but I can't tell how many because of the game is being glitchy for the top 3 here. Not quite sure what's going on with those guys. Regardless, we'll switch over to tyres here. So there are your starting tyres for everyone in this Grand Prix. Again, the majority of drivers on hard runners. We've got 5 of them on the mediums and 2 on the softs. So we're looking at a longer first stint for a lot of these drivers, but I assume we'll see them get a bit faster when they know that switch onto the mediums later on.
Yeah, you never know with this track. Safety cars always just around the corner. Though it doesn't, though it feels like the Walter Rages way, the speed you're travelling around at this circuit, you can find them very, very easily. Trust me, I've done it myself.
Yeah, of course, you've won here before. What is the key to victory at Silverstone, Pope?
Completely strategy. Yeah, strategy is the main one. You have to be careful of your tyres. Like I was saying in qualifying, the tyres get worn up very, very quickly here, and you'll see, obviously, Cheese just set the fastest lap on those soft tyres. They'll probably only last a really good another 4 laps, and then they'll be falling off a cliff, as he makes a fantastic move on Websy there. Absolutely beautiful move, pushing him right to the exit.
Back onto the Valencia straight once again then, so Cheese is in front of Websy, who have DRS to try and fight back, but Pope Cheese is gone. He's off like a shot here, and he'll start working on chasing the 2 podium runners as Grumio, we are confirmed he's up to a 1.8 second lead as PJ Cowley in the pit lane here for a wing change on what is a very nice white, black and gold F1 World car indeed. We are seeing some very nice liveries here tonight.
Yeah, some great ones and some stinkers, very much targeting that one at Snap.
That one in P3, which shan't be named because this is the British Grand Prix, and it's of course it's the home Grand Prix for the majority of drivers on the grid. But I'm trying to remember who is not British in this case. I'm sure I'll remember at some stage because it was noted for us earlier this week. I know BJ is not a Brit. Oh, there goes Sniper at the inside taking second place, and looks like Cheese is trying to go for BJ as well here. Yellow flag, and that is, I believe that's Fergie to make a second mistake, but he's gotten away with it okay. And Dan is sort of closing back up to the field here. He's still about 3 seconds back, but he feels closer now than he was before.
Yeah, no, Dan's done very, very well to minimise that loss of time.
Pushing on them to let number 4. Screaming in control with 1.7 seconds. That lead is sort of gone stale. I thought I saw a car spinning off there. That is Curtis, who had some kind of problem. He spun it in the middle of the circuit. Oh, that was very close there for Ethan. And Curtis, in all fairness, had no choice but to sit in the middle of the circuit and hope that no one can off him. That could be a very scary accident for anyone involved.
Yeah, that's not what we want to see. We see Lucky picking up a time penalty now. That's probably going to be the first of many for these drivers. Though the track is wide and you've got a lot of room to play with, it's so easy to cut the corners as you're trying to minimise your distance to the apex.
Definitely, I've done it a few times myself in my time driving this circuit. I saw Zach Sherman taking on JB there in the race for the 8th spot. Got Zach Sherman back after a couple of weeks away. Because it's good to see it. Oh, JB going very wide there out of Cops. And could the purple F1 World Machine come through and try and take advantage? No chance this time.
Vibrant car and Zach Sherman is very much eyeing up. That wonderful livery of JB's. It's chrome, like 2004 McLaren, looking very, very nice. Well, Zach Sherman making a move on the inside. Yeri Will, that DRS is so powerful, and Zach Sherman parked it on the apex, making sure JB cannot do a switchback on him.
Very good move indeed. The driver now running the 8th spot. And JB's got to be careful. He's got Lucky and Lycon running behind him there, so could fill out the points quickly if he's not careful. But in terms of what's going back up front, Sniper's starting to close the gap on Grimio. That gap was 1.7, it's now 1.5, so it's closing bit by bit. But Grimio is not getting away as much as he would have liked.
Grimio's going to be smart about this. He's going to manage his tyres, manage his fuel, manage his DRS. He's got enough space to play with, so I'm sure he's not worrying too much. It's only when it gets to that 1.2 area where you want to start thinking about maybe increasing the pace. I was saying that it's going to 1.8 right now.
Opening up that gap once again then as you reach midway through lap 5, and of course those soft tyres will still be starting to hit their cliff for Cheese and for Badman. Give it a few laps or so and we'll start to see groaning on their tyres. Of course the medium guys can go for a bit longer and the hards will go. I've felt the medium hard drivers will sort of go for around the same sort of times in terms of stops. As PJ sets the fastest lap of the race, they're on at 28.892 on mediums tyres, no less. So he's trumped Cheese's lap earlier, which was on at 29.2. That was the previous fastest lap in the order. There goes
See BJ making a move. Round the outside of Sniper. Love that. That is a great move. Sniper keeping his nose in, nice and clean. Great fair racing between those two. These two are going to have to work together. They need to work together to catch Greenhill. There's no point in battling. Use your ERS to boost each other through the track and try and target that P1 spot.
A very similar sort of game to what we saw in the Singapore Grand Prix yesterday with Lando and Carlos. So I didn't get to see the race, but I've seen the footage. The Sniper wants second place back. You can really see him practically pushing BJ through Village there. I see Cheese behind. Look, he's trying to pick up any scraps. Webbs, he's got around Fan. Fan there in P6. Of course, this isn't, of course, as of right now, it'd be another 7-8 points or so for Sniper in the championship to open the gap on Fan. As he's going to try and collect some more here if he can. He can bring that gap to 10 points if he takes second place off of BJ. So that'll be his main goal for now, but he has to keep an eye on Cheese. He might go for it while he's still on those soft tyres. We'll see just what he chooses to do here. But doesn't get enough of exit that time. He'll have to wait a bit longer. He's just using his battery here to try and close in. Could he be trying to set up a move for the hanger straight?
Not too sure what Cheese is doing, but he needs to use everything he has now. He needs to get ahead of Sniper before he makes his pit stop, because he's on the worst strategy. There's no denying of that. Maybe expected a safety car early on, so he needs to make the moves now, let BJ and Sniper fight with this train that's building up behind BJ, and hopefully gain time that way.
Well, as long as Sniper's still got that DRS, it would be a serious threat to Cheese and trying to get back around. He's coming to pits early. Here we go. Cheese making a change this early on. So those soft tyres are done. So is he perhaps going to set hard to the end?
I don't even think Hards would make it, to be quite honest. I think Hards would go to like 15 laps maybe. So yeah, it would make it just, but I think maybe mediums would be a better strategy call.
2 sets of mediums, yeah? Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah, that's what I think. Hope for another safety car, because at this point you're completely out of the race.
Tyre change him for Smoke and Cheese, who puts it onto the medium tyre, the C2. And that just leaves Badman as the 1C3 run on the race. The Sniper taking BJ now into Brooklands they go, and now through Luffield. And I say, Pope, it's got down to that 1.2 second advantage now. So could Grimo start to get a bit worried and start to look in his mirrors a bit more?
I think for Grimo, yeah, you'd have to. You've got Sniper, whose tyres are undoubtedly just going to get better, while in comparison anyway to the mediums of Grimo, as he goes wide, maybe the pressure is just getting to him now. You never expect Grumio to buckle under pressure, but this track is very, very telling, and it is very, very hard.
It's on the exit here back of Beckett, who he spun off last season, and we're hoping not to repeat that fate. Or 6-time record champion of the series, looking to perhaps, if he can come back from here, win a 7th. I think that'd probably be the most impressive thing I've seen in league racing. But again, another twitch there from the reigning champion, allowing his teammate, his less experienced teammate of that, to close in that little bit more each time. The gap now down to half a second as Badman now into pit lane, following on Cheese's strategy. And there's now a 5-car train, so the top 5 separated by about 1.8 seconds. Yellow flag. And that is Lucky Lambert around off on the grass just at the final corner.
That's a very dangerous place to be off, because the cars can spin out very easily there. So, surprised not been a virtual safety car for that, but he gets back up and running. It's just a shame for Lucky there, who has shown some absolutely incredible glimpses this season of really, really strong as he retires, which is such a shame for Lucky. But yeah, no, he's shown some glimpses of real pace this season. So, oof, close there by Badman, going past that car. That is Fergie time. Sorry, it's been a lot of close shaves this race so far.
Definitely. I hope trying to avoid seeing any more of those as time goes by. Now 1.8 seconds separation in the top 5 stands. With the DRS in play, everyone's coming a bit closer together. Could get some great racing here. Yellow flag again in sector 2. I'm not quite sure who that is.
Yeah, Max Sherman spun off in a battle with JB, I'm pretty certain. So
I missed that.
Just unlucky. I think the tyres are really now showing their hands, which is quite early on, I would say, for these tyres. So it's looking like the drivers have gone low downforce as much as they can to make sure they've got the speed on the straights. I think that's what everyone's been prioritising by the looks of it.
A lot of straights in the circuit. You look at the Hamilton straight, Wellington straight, Hanger straight, all of the straights. Very crucial here at Silverstone. And Sniper is closing that gap even more to try and set up a move perhaps on the next one. So we'll see here. On lap number 9, of the Grand Prix. 17 more laps to go at this stage. Of course, the two teammates here regularly in the Alpines on different strategies here. So we'll see. I assume we'll probably see them both sort of over to the opposite tyre, which could leave Sniper to be faster in the late stage of the race. So go for it now, though.
Late stage, yeah, of the race definitely, but always he backs off to make sure he doesn't overtake Grumio. That's a tactical plan there between the two. What I would be worried for Sniper is he still has to get through BJ and even Websy. Websy might be able to undercut him. Obviously, we don't know which pit crew the teams have, so we can't be too certain. But if Websy gets the pit on the lap before Sniper's lost that position to Websy because of how close these cars are within a second of pretty much the top four. So I'd keep eyes on that. And I don't think Sniper's in as good a position as it may look on paper.
I've seen what goes on between these two here. So will he try and go for it again this time? Closing all the time to pull out to the left. Looking to go side by side with his teammate. And around the outside, the Stars and Stripes going to the front here at Silverstone. Sniper Hunter, your championship leader, takes the lead of the British Grand Prix.
Yeah, nice safe move there by Sniper. He knew exactly where he was going to place that car very, very early on in that straight, and that DRS really used to its best.
We'll see if Grumio can respond here as we begin lap number 10 of this race. No one in the top 5 coming into the pit lane just yet, but by 1.5 seconds probably covering the pack now, the top 5 pack now. Yep, 1.2. Well, so we're a lot closer thanks to the DRS. So we'll see just what goes down. Zach Sherman there, the 3-second time penalty. Multiple ones. Let's see your penalties so far. So 4 drivers with 3 seconds. JB, Paris, Shane, and Zach. All penalties. And Zach Sherman's retiring the session. He's put it into the pit lane. He's out. Second retiree.
Yeah, such a shame. Yeah, 2 drivers who just don't feel like they're able to keep up with a pack and looking to retire the car. Better to save the wear on the car and not stress yourself out too much because it is quite a hard thing. We see BJ with a huge wobble there at the exit of Luffield into Woodcote.
He can't put himself in any more pressure. He's going to fall prey to Websy and Fan behind him. So it still goes down. Again, these guys are all very close together as it stands. Sniper trying to pull away, but Grumio looking to close back in. We still have DRS, but he's using his battery. No, Sniper's just pulling away. He's a lot faster with Magnussen Beckett than anyone else.
Yeah, a lot faster in Magnussen Beckett's, but it still falls prey to that DRS, which you can see Grumio gaining. Obviously, lifts off on the throttle because there's no need to attack his teammate going in to Stowe because you're just going to lose time for everyone and makes you prey to BJ behind.
I will say here, as Fan comes into the pit lane, look how far ahead the leaders are of everyone else. See, Lycon and JB are fighting. Those guys are almost 12 seconds off the lead, off of 5th place. Because they'll close down, so we'll be looking at 4th place more or less. Yellow flag, that's car going slow off of slow. That's Courtney Goblin, I think, who was going slow on the X. It looks like he's going to that all okay. So continue.
Yeah, the leaders have really got a fantastic pace here, but it's not helped because the pack behind is a pit stop behind. So Fan luckily has pitted into a decent gap, but he can't push extremely hard because he will be hitting cars within the next 2-3 laps.
Grumio regains the lead there, going into Brooklands. The Sniper might try and come back over here. Top 4 running nose to tail here, right on each other's gearboxes as they make their way down towards Copse once again. And we'll hope that no one goes for anything here. Of course, we saw a very aggressive battle between Cheese and Fan in the opening lap. Going into Copse corner, I think Cheese emerged victorious in that one. Of course, Fan in the pits. Cheese is obviously pitted earlier. He's probably running in P13 right now, so he needs to get some more leverage out of these medium tyres in order to try and push him closer to the cars in front. Let's see about where he emerges because he pitted quite early compared to everyone else. So Sniper goes back to the outside, looking to reclaim the lead, and he will reclaim the lead. Sniper back out front, and BJ and Websy sitting here waiting in line for their opportunity to try and go for an overtake. I see BJ off into the pit lane, so he's the first of the leaders. Oh, no, first of the leaders, sorry. Well, first of these top 4 into pit, off the medium tyres and putting it on the hard at the end.
That would be the plan. He's reacting to Fan and making that pit stop. Remember, Cheese is 5 seconds, it's a little bit less now, but was around 5 seconds on the exit of the pit lane ahead of Fan. So showing how much time you gain in that undercut. So we'll see where BJ comes out because this is going to show up now where the rest of the pack is because Fan's on those fresh hard tyres will be absolutely rapid.
Jeez, 3 seconds.
Yeah, these guys are now on 11 laps. All tyres, especially Grumio who's on the mediums, they're just going to drop pace dramatically. See BJ on the exit of pit lane. Where
Very
is
close
Fan?
between them. Fan gets out in front, narrowly in front. So BJ rejoining right in between that train as JB passing Lycon there for 4th place. The top 3 are one there together. Grumio going to try and go to the inside, maybe into Cops. No, way too wise to go for something like that. No chance. I hope for a second we get a bit of a moment, but unfortunately not.
No, these drivers are top of their class. They know exactly when to make a move. Though maybe not every single one works, and 90% of them do. So it's always good to see those late exciting moves. We see Grumio absolutely deploying all of his ERS there from 70% down to 50% to get past Sniper, who didn't look like he had a great entry into Stowe as Grumio heads to the pits.
Oh, look,
Oh,
there's a penalty.
A 5-second time penalty. That's not helped him. The 6-time champion is really crumbling. Like what I would say is rookie mistakes.
Definitely not what you like to see as Grumio makes his way into his pit box here, at least hoping for a good stop. Gets us back on the racetrack. Their hard tyres going on his way. And we'll see whereabouts he emerges in comparison to Cheese. We'll see with a number of cars coming in. So wait to see where Cheese and Fan come out there. So Cheese comes to the last corner, but getting held by Dan down the main straight. So could Grumio emerge in front of them? I think he might. Scrap that, I'm wrong. Cheese gets out ahead, but of course Cheese will have to make another stop here in the late stage of this race. So with BJ out in front
Fans
of
ahead of
Grumio.
Grumio and BJ.
Oh.
This is what I was saying. It's all about the undercut at this track. Yes, Sniper will be fast in those last few laps, but he's got so many cars to go through. So many cars to go through. One of them being Grumio, one of them being BJ, one of them being Fan. Guys who are all still in contention for this title, and that is saying something with some team orders there being played between BJ and Fan. So I was interested to see Fan, who realistically could very well take the championship. He's the one that's closest to Sniper at the moment, but letting BJ use the pace of his fresher tyres.
Of course, one of the opening race of the season, Websy and Sniper dueling for the lead out of Stowe and coming towards the Vale chicane. Looks like Sniper gets back in front for them here. Of course, these guys can go a bit longer on their hard tyres and go on mediums for the end. Do you reckon we'll see anyone try and go for a gamble here, Pope? Try and take hard as far as they can, go on a set of soft to finish it off, or is that too much?
I would like to think Lycon or JB will, though they are fighting and yeah, going to be using their tyres the most. I feel like someone needs to do it. I've done it before and it did work, taking those hard tyres as long as they can possibly go. It is a struggle. There's no doubt about that. It is a struggle, but it's so worth it because there's such a chance of a late safety car and then you're in the prime position to take the lead.
We'll have to wait and see if we get anything like that in the late stages. As we see BJ passing Cotley Goblin there for P9, and Fang going to go around the outside of him as well, going towards Village. Into the corner they come, side by side in the braking zone. No one wanting to give an inch, but Fang pulls in front, but Cotley comes back at him on the inside. There's contact, around he goes. Cotley Goblin.
On the apex there, that was a horrible incident. It's horrid when your front tire gets hit, you spun round, you're in complete loss of control in that car.
Did Fan leave him
And
enough
it's
room on
such
the
a
exit
shame
there,
there for Cotley. I didn't have a great angle, to be quite honest, so I can't really make like a specific statement on it, but from the angle I did see, it looked like he was pinched just a little too much.
Oh, BJ to the outside, going into the cops, trying to take down. Very tight between them, and BJ's a brave man, if I do say so myself, to go around the outside of cops like that, if being the car on the overtake coming in. Webbsy with the penalty here, and we'll set to see where Webbsy emerges. But if Sniper keeps going the way he's going, could this be handing maybe not handing the race to him, but let's see where he emerges. We'll get a better idea of it now when Webbsy comes up the pit lane.
Yeah, Webbsy, another, what I'd say a rookie mistake. We all know the speed limits here at these circuits, but you do get caught up in that racing, so it is one of those. Webbsy did take the lead from Sniper on that last lap, but we will see, and Webbsy's going to be absolutely rapid because he was keeping pace with those medium runners when he was on the hards, so I'd like to see what he can do on those medium tyres.
Let's see where Webbsy emerges. As he emerges with the pack, or does he emerge just behind him? We'll have to wait and see. Dan with a penalty, multiple warnings. He comes out just behind Dan there. Can't go for his inside. Just not close enough to go for it on the brakes into the corner immediately after rejoining. But he's not too far behind. It could slap him for him. You never know. We could see a podium on the cards for the Williams regular.
Exactly. So this is the thing, though. This is where Sniper's going to come out as well. So Sniper's going to be in this battle. So the advantage of these medium tyres isn't really paying off. This is because the field got so spread by the leader's fantastic pace.
Right to see when Sniper comes in. I saw him go wide on the exit of Cops, so perhaps starting struggling on those hard ties as BJ again around the outside going into Cops. He gets it done this time before he reaches the corner in front of the Alfa Romeo of Curtis. And Grimmo going wide there. Fans are closing in big time on the run towards Maggots and Beckett once again. We'll see how the champion can handle one of the championship challenges on the run down this next straight. DRS deploy for Fan, DRS not deploy for Grimmo. He wasn't close enough last time around to get it off of Curtis. So Fan and Websy will no doubt close in a little bit more. And we'll see where they emerge. Curtis right there sitting behind. BJ is pulling away already. Lycon's in the pit lane. Sniper staying out once again. So looking to go as long as he can those hards poke and then going on to mediums or softs. We'll have to see what he chooses.
I feel like Sniper might hold it out to around lap 18, 19 to go on to those soft tyres now. I feel like you've bit the bullet. You've pitted way too late. I think this lap was the last lap to pit onto the mediums to get their full advantage. So I feel like it has to be soft tyres here. So it's exciting to see. It is very, very exciting to see.
It's always a tough decision to make in terms of pit strategy when it's just that one stop that could change the race in that respect, given everyone else's runs. I see Paris there. Of course, Paris is on the same tyres since the start, but he's there in P3 right now. So he's doing well, but obviously we'll lose a lot of spots out in the pits. I see BJ right there behind him. We'll see how Paris can take him on, or more he can take on Paris in the Audi. He'll get his first taste of his performance here as he come down towards Cops once again. BJ going for a third overtake in a row at Cops. And again, gets even further in front this time for Mexico move stick. And now through the right-hander he goes into third place, and only Cheese separates him from Sniper Hunter, who's coming to the pits now. Well, this is it then. This is the moment.
So, yeah, this is the moment that will decide the race. 22 seconds there to Cheese. So, from what I'm seeing, I feel like Sniper will come out just behind Websy, maybe in front of Curtis, but even that's still risky. It depends if Curtis comes in as well on this lap. But we will have to see as Fig Time gets a 3-second time penalty. What tyres he going to go on to? He's going on to mediums. I think that is one lap too late.
Crucially for him though, no penalty coming into the pit lane, which was a positive for his stop at the very least. But BJ will merge into the lead here as Cheese comes into the pit lane too. And we'll see where Sniper falls down the order. He's coming to the pit exit now. It might be P7, it could even be P8 when he comes out. It's P7, so just behind Badman there. So we'll see where he emerges here. Paris has got Websy on his outside as they go out the loop and onto the Wellington straight once again. Websy into P4 and we'll start chasing Fan for third. Fan with a terrible exit. There goes Websy to the outside. Going into Brooklyn, to the left hand they come. Websy back on the podium here. And I guess he could be in very good stead for the rest of this race. But that penalty he's got there, which is 5 seconds, could throw a wrench in his plans. It could hand the win to BJ.
I mean, if it hands the win to BJ, my prediction comes true. Maybe not in the same essence, but it's very much BJ's race now. He is only 2 attempts ahead of Grumio. But what I would, if I was thinking of if I was in BJ's head, I just let Grumio go. Don't fight Grumio. There's no need to fight Grumio. He's got those 5 seconds. You will stay within 5 seconds of him. Trust me. The DRS is that powerful. Let Grumio go. Save your DRS and focus on Sniper Hunter behind.
Damn, Pup, you're thinking now. That wasn't happening the last time you were here. But Grumio takes the lead away from BJ. Sorry about that. Grumio takes the lead. I lost my train of thought completely. And that's, so yeah, now his goal will be to try and build that 5 seconds over the last 8 laps or so of this Grand Prix. So we'll see what goes down. And Sniper Hunter making moves here. He's up into P5 now after seeing Paris make a stop. He's around Badman as well. So Sniper's got work to do here. He's currently just under 4 seconds down on the 4 leaders, who will be going to hammer and tong in the last part of this Grand Prix. But Grumio already away to almost a second advantage, which is what he wants. He needs 4 more seconds. If he can get out of DRS range, that'll make his job a lot easier. So we'll see in these late stages just what goes on. But BJ, of course, right now is in control of this race. Websy behind him there in 3rd place, but he'll end up finishing further back. So Fan is in a net 2nd place, it stands, and BJ's in the lead.
I think even for BJ, let Websy go as well. Use them cars, and then when you need to, overtake them with that DRS. Save your DRS. These 2 have got 5-second time penalties, which more than likely won't be removed unless the game's had a glitch issue. So you've got Fan behind who, as a teammate, you would expect to fight for you as much as you would fight for him. So let's hopefully see that through Fan, keeping Sniper Hunter behind. This could be a strategy call which though looked likely to succeed for Sniper Hunter, it's just not paid off due to where the cars have been positioned.
Definitely. So we'll see what Sniper, we'll see what he can do against Fan. We'll get to see the two current title riders go toe-to-toe on the racetrack here. So then BJ has let both Grumio and Websy go in front. So he's a second and a half off the lead right now, which is obviously more than enough of what he needs. 8 laps to Grumio to try and build a 5-second lead. It looks unlikely from where I'm sitting.
You never know with Grumio, he might just put on the afterburners like he always does. He has a secret button, trust me, I've been his teammate before. He has a secret button which just gives him extra seconds and seconds of pace, but Sniper Hunter, they're gaining on Fan 2 seconds a lap. At the current rate, obviously that will drop down, no doubt, with the tyres wearing, and the temps are going to be absolutely scorching there for Sniper as he pushes so hard to get back with the leaders.
We'll see how hard he can push it. He's 5.4 back from the top spot right now. And so, of course, if he can bring himself a couple of seconds in, then he bring himself a couple of tenths in, sorry, that will put him on the podium with BJ and Fan right now. But I'm sure he wants more than that because he doesn't want fans to be eating into his lead in the championship. So we'll see what happens there, especially in terms. I shouldn't think they'll bring any more team orders into play at Mercedes there. Of course, BJ and Fan regularly teammates. BJ gets a penalty now. He's gone wide at
That is not what you wanted.
Well, all of a sudden, we're looking at it now. I believe Grumio only needs, what, 2 seconds on BJ?
2 seconds, which, yeah, it could
It's a lot more
very
doable,
well happen.
so now he's got work to do to try and close him back in.
Websy is now leading this race, who also only needs 2 seconds on BJ, and then he got to lead at so Fan would actually be the race winner.
As it stands, yes.
At the current moment, as it stands, yeah, Fan would be the race winner.
Sniper's inside there. Where did he come from? Sniper's the championship leader. We just saw the two title protagonists go toe-to-toe on the run towards Abby there. Very close between them. We'll see if Fan tries to respond here. Will he look to the inside into Village? No chance. Keeps himself in line, waiting, no doubt, for that DRS to come to play down the Wellington Straight, but he needs a good exit this time to try and pull it off. So here he goes, not the best of runs off the corner. Oh, that's very, very poor from Fan on the exit, if he doesn't mind me saying so. Sniper pulls away then, and all of a sudden, Sniper's in control.
That red flash taunting Fan. He knows he's got more energy, but those tyres are just not looking good. Fan's had an issue with traction, especially coming out of the loop this entire race, so that's something that will need to be debriefed in that Mercedes garage later on, but this has just got a hell of a lot more tasty, and it's looking like now Sniper Hunter could easily win another race this season.
I wouldn't be too sure just yet. I mean, of course, he's closing in, but Websy has a 4-second advantage over him. So he needs to, if he can take another second out of Sniper somehow, then he will win this race, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but it's the tyre difference. Those 2 laps make a hell of a lot of difference. It could be up to BJ and Grumio defending the hearts out to keep Sniper behind and let Websy have this race win. What a story that would be if Websy couldn't win.
Looking to try and swipe second win of the season, of course. So you think back to Azerbaijan in the rerun of Azerbaijan, where there was of course a late crash for the leaders, which allowed Websy to capitalise and take away his first win of the season. Looking for win number 2 here, and it's close. If not a win, then definitely a podium's on the cards for our Websy here, who is, as I say, he's right now 3.9 seconds in front of Sniper and 4.8 in front of Fan. So looking at a second place finish perhaps, but it's very tight margins as it stands, and there's still 6 laps to go, so anything could happen. We'll have to wait and see here. But these two have gapped the rest of the pack in particular. BJ in 3.5 behind as it stands, so he's looking at a poor result behind all of these guys as Sniper closes in a little bit more. I thought he was going to try and go for it for a second there, going into out of Brooklands, but now into Luffield on the exit, really close now. Does he do what BJ did early to everyone else and go for a move into Cops? I dare say he might do, because he gets another slipstream now. He's going to try it potentially on the inside, not going to go for it, lifts, stays in line, smart thing to do. He's going to try it here, looking at it, going towards Maggots and Beckett's. It's very close, he's practically touching the rear wing of that what regularly would be a Mercedes. And all the while, he might be losing time to the cars in front.
Yeah, not losing too much, but not gaining a lot. And then this is where it's going to get a lot harder for Sniper. No more DRS now from the cars.
Penalty there.
Grumio's got 3 seconds.
8 seconds.
The Grumio is... This is just not like him. This is very bizarre for Grumio, so... That really puts him out of contention completely of a podium. as it stands. Obviously, he's still gaining on fans, so you never know. We've got 3 seconds difference between him and fans, so if he could gap him, got 4 more laps. It's very, very bizarre to see Grubio rack up this many penalties.
Definitely, I'm sure we'll see him bounce back soon. I definitely want to see him get another win this season. It almost feels like a Hamilton-esque sort of season for him as of right now. Of course, dominant in the past for so long, but this season he's struggling, and we're not quite sure why.
It could be the game not suiting the style. Obviously, the game changed a hell of a lot from the last season to this season, even though the generations of cars are very, very similar. So it could definitely be just down to that. And some drivers have become more accustomed to it quicker. Remember, this is the first season on this game, and it's been very up and down so far on Codemasters' end. So no one really knows how the car fully drives. It's next season that really shows who's got that pace and who's got their head and hands and feet hooked up to that car well.
I would definitely look forward to January when the new season gets underway, as always. Hope you guys are looking forward to that as well. If you are enjoying the stream so far, then do make sure to subscribe to the channel, because it does help us out massively. It gets to keep on doing these RDR races, which I'll take a moment to say this is the 70th Grand Prix you're seeing on this channel for the Racers Driving League. So we do a round of... Oh, okay. He's doing a round of applause for me. Very nice, Hope. Thank you very much. Yeah, hopefully here's to another 70. I want to try and reach 100s, which I think we could achieve by the end of this game, potentially. So looking forward to seeing that happen. But regardless, we'll continue back on the race. Lap 23 here. Despite him having those 8 seconds, he is right down the back of Websy, looking to try and perhaps move in front and try and take advantage and try and gain for that time back to get a better finish out of it. But Sniper is 2.6 seconds behind. I think even if there's another penalty now, if he got penalty, then he'd almost be in range to take the win entirely.
Yeah, if Sniper does get a penalty, it's then a gap of 6 tenths. I'm going to just go and do...
That's Shane around on the exit of Stowe.
I'm going to go and double check for penalties and see how many that Sniper Hunter is on. I think he's only on 1 warning as it stands. 2 warnings, sorry. So he is on very thin lines as well. So if he gets this 3-second penalty, then it then completely shapes the race again, and it's looking like Websy still has a shot of the race win here at Silverstone, which I am sure he would love to get.
Of course, Sniper's in a good position right now. He's got to keep within the white lines and bring it home. We've seen people make mistakes here, because we've seen him go wide at a couple of times today already, so it could happen again. You never know as these tyres get more and more worn out. I see BJ, they're still in P4, Fan in P5. I think as it stands right now, I think Fan will finish in that 4th spot. Sorry, might finish in the 3rd spot, sorry, because of BJ's and Grimio's penalties. Grimio in the lead though. He's trying to pull away to a bit of an advantage now. Perhaps try and pull out in front over Websy at least, with 3 more laps to go in this race. And Sniper just 2 seconds back from Websy.
Smoker Cheese now getting a penalty. Yeah, it's not great for him. Obviously pitted with a 2-stop. Not really paying off. It's very hard to get that done. You do need a safety car to help you out here.
Well, I doubt we'll get one now in these late stages that will impact the race at all here. It'll probably be, if we get one right now, it'd be like a lap and a half, and then we have to go racing again. So looking at the end of it in terms of that sort of thing going on now. So JB with a penalty there. He's running in P7 right now. He won't see much there. He's doing a very impressive job. Still fighting Lycon there in the race position. They're atting for P8 right now. So we'll have a look, because Lycon has no penalties. We'll see how much JB has. JB has 6 seconds. But Cheese has 6 behind him too. So looks like JB will finish in P8 today.
Yeah, JB's had a fantastic race, especially on the track. The action between him and Lycon has been, it's been absolutely brilliant. It's been brilliant to watch. Nice rubbing racing. That's what we like to see here in the RDL.
Definitely. I definitely enjoyed to see the good racing. As usual, there's 2 more laps to go in the next cross the line, and Sniper is still in control. And even if he was to get penalty now, Pope, he may still win the race anyway.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be close if he does get a penalty onto that back straight.
So we'll see now just what goes down these last couple of laps. Romeo leads them. 2 more laps to go here at Silverstone. And it looks like Sniper's race to win, but he's just going to hold on to it for the next 2 laps. And hope there's no mistakes and those medium tyres hold out.
Yeah, it's now seeing if those tyres will hold out and they just don't slide you off track crossing that white line, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's not over until that checker flag at this race. We've seen races before, may I say, my Monaco race win the season where, barring any mistakes, it was won slightly early on. So this race is not like that at all.
You just wanted to remind us of Monaco, didn't you?
Oh, of course, of course. If you did not know, I've won Monaco this season.
I'm sure we remember that very fondly, Pope. But we would rather have you in here instead. Shame 5-second penalty there for speeding the pit. I'm just keeping my eye out on the race control here, see if anything does come involved with Sniper Hunter at all. But I think he's safe right now. He's doing a good job. He's keeping it within the white lines and actually holding on to the gap as well. So he's doing a fantastic job here. It looks like Websy's on for second as it stands. BJ will finish in fourth, Fan will be third, and Grimmy will be fifth at this rate. I have to check that to confirm.
Yeah, very mature drive in these last few laps here by Sniper. Not pushing it to 100%, though very, very little left on his ERS. But we've seen Sniper season before in other leagues faulting, losing the control a little bit, but today he's really stepped up and shown what he can do.
And there we go then, the final lap here at Silverstone, and as it stands, if there's to be a penalty now, we'll be looking at a photo finish between the leaders here. Websy and Sniper will be the one we're keeping our eye on. If we get a penalty now for either one of them, that more or less settle the race. We just have to see what goes on, but Sniper's got to keep it nice and steady. And at this point, he's 1.9 back, so he could still win the race regardless if he gets a penalty. So we'll have to see just what happens here. Connie going 3 seconds. Websy might go to the inside. Grimmer doesn't quite try it. Do we see these two try and go for the win on track, or do we try and see him carry it home?
I think for Websy he needs to. He's got 40% ERS. That's a hell of a lot more. Hell of a lot more than Sniper than Salve. Sorry. So he needs to use that. That could have been a fault for Websy this race, that he's not deployed as much ERS, because even on that Wellington straight just then, he could have easily passed Grumio if he used that a little bit more of the ERS.
Fan taking BJ while that was going on. So Fan P4 on the track now and looking to bring home a podium finish. Websy might try and go for Grumio one last time. They're going to try and take the win on track. They pull to the right hand side, and if there was no penalties involved, there'd be a last lap pass for the win. But unfortunately that won't happen today. Sniper's a few corners away from winning in what I'm quite disappointed is a Stars and Stripes livery. As I said several times today, Websy then comes to the last corner to take the win on the racetrack in front of Grumio in second place. But the real words say Silverstone is Sniper Stone. Sniper Hunter wins the British Grand Prix. Websy home in second. Looks like Fan will take away third. Grumio in fourth in the end, and BJ rounds off in fifth. Badman on course to finish in sixth place in a world of his own right now. 12 seconds off the lead, but 4 seconds in front of Lycon, who seems on to finish in seventh place. Good race for Lycon indeed. And here comes JB behind him. Very solid fight between these two. JB comes home eighth, and Sniper holding off Curtis at the very end here. Curtis will get the P9 regardless because he's got no penalties, but Cheese will finish in P10. The two-stop just didn't work. From here comes Paris for 11th place in the Audi. Dan holding off Ethan. Both these two, Dan recovering from that spin on the first lap to finish in P12. Sorry, Ethan got P11 in the end. Paris down to P13 now because the penalties. Conley Goblin through P14. It'll be PJ Callum 15th. Shane in 16th, and 30 time will finish the race in 17th. Props to these guys in the back for running out the rest of the race. Probably wasn't the most entertaining thing for them, but they've done it. It's always good to see. And it's Sniper who wins, and as I say, Silverstone becomes Sniper Stone.
Yeah, very mature, like I said, race there by Sniper Hunter, who is really flexing the muscles now. He's got nice lead in the championship, though we've still got a very, very long way to go in the season. It'd be nice to see how confident he's feeling going forward. But yeah, Websy, fantastic in P2 there. It's always great to see Websy on the podium, especially in that P2. But that could have been that P1 spot.
Well, regardless,
if there was one more penalty involved.
Hopefully this is the last time we'll see the F1 World Car being used in the RDL. Hopefully from next come we'll be back to the regular F1 cars if EA get their stuff together and actually make their game right. But regardless, the celebration beginning here at Silverstone, and well earned they are indeed for our top three, who drove fantastic races all the way around. But I'm just thinking, if Sniper did get a penalty at the very end, how close would it have been? I think he still would have won the race, but only just. Very tight stuff. Once we get interviews going in just a moment's time to see the thoughts from a particular Sniper and Websy, and perhaps maybe from fans as well. We'll see what goes on with those guys. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see if we can get it set up for us. So send out a link to the comments box.
No.
I'll go through the final results here as and when they appear on the screen. Hopefully they'll let me see them this time. So Sniper wins the race then from Websy in second. Fan comes home in third. Grimio fourth. BJ finishes fifth. Badman sixth. Lycon seventh. JB eighth. Curtis ninth. And Cheese rounds out your top 10. And it's Ethan, Dan, Paris, PJ, Cotley Goblin, Shane and Fergie time your finishers. Zach Sherman and Lucky Lambert both going down as DNFs. So that's your race then. And we'll get towards the post-race interviews in the commentary box as we normally do. Hope, give me your thoughts on the race then. What do you think of all that?
It was a good race. I think the first stint was fantastic. I thought the first stint, with all the cars being so close together and the leaders showing the pace that they had, was incredible. Obviously, it's also, you do get the second stint syndrome where things can just die off a little bit. It's only a one stop, so it was nice to see Cheese trying to do that two stop, but the one stop can dry out the race a little bit. But nonetheless, it was still exciting, especially when drivers are picking up penalties every so often. You never know who could have won. That part was very, very fun to watch.
Definitely. I mean, we've got two of the chasers in that race here for post-race interviews. So we'll come now to our race winner for today, Sniper Hunter, who takes home another win this season. Sniper, you're not mute for us, mate. Is he there at all?
Oh, there we go. Hello.
Hello there, mate. Right. Okay. First of all, I have to ask you, why Stars and Stripes livery tonight of all times? Oh, hang on. He's muted himself again. Oh, hello.
Big shout out to my favourite F1 driver of all time, Logan Sargent.
Yeah. Was that the reference? Is that
yeah,
oh.
I love Logan Sargent.
Don't think he's listening.
Okay. Right. We'll good. We'll hear each other. Yeah. All good.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. So we'll look into the actual race then. So yeah, another win for you. Talk us through it. What went down?
Well, I mean, I was going to go for an undercut, and then I realised the tyre wear was horrible on those mediums, and I didn't feel like sliding about. So I went for the overcut, and everyone else got penalties. Pretty free.
Fair enough. Of course, you drove a quite almost a mistake-free race there. But we noticed that you had 2 warnings towards the end of the race. Pope, is that correct? Can we confirm 2 warnings?
Yeah, 2 warnings.
So yeah, were you close at any stage in the last couple of laps to getting a third one there, or was it all under control?
Yeah, from about lap 18 onwards, I wasn't close at all, but it was just at the start with such a high fuel load, I was struggling with cops.
Yeah, definitely. So you go wide there a few times. And of course, in terms of your first stint, obviously you're on the hard, so almost the longest of anyone on the racetrack. Was there ever a point where you were going to try and pit earlier, or was that always the plan to go later on?
Not really. I saw Blaze pit pretty early, and the hards felt great, to be honest, so I just thought I'd ride them out and go for an overcut.
It definitely paid off for you, and with the win, you now increase your gap in the championship to 35 points over Fan, if my maths are correct. So we're about halfway through the season now. We're going to continue. Are we going to continue this over the second half of the season and look for the championship?
Yeah, I'll try. I definitely feel like my pace has picked up now. A lot faster than when I started the game.
Definitely, yeah. It's definitely shown through here, especially in the last couple of weeks with the win. So back on top after Austria last week. So good to see you back in the comms box for the interviews once again. So again, congratulations on the win. And we'll come now to our second place finisher, Websy, who came so very close to a second win of the season. Mate, that was really close for us. How'd you get on?
That gone great. It was a pretty straightforward race, to be fair. Because it was obviously near the front, we was just following each other, kind of thing, and keeping the RS as much as we could. And I kind of knew I had a little bit of an advantage with the hards, because obviously I just kept up with the medium runners and the softs. So obviously when I went in, it's like the old greed kind of takes over, and you want to get that extra 1/10 of a second out of the pit lane, which obviously you don't, because you're a total knobhead when you go in and you overcook it, and then obviously you end up getting 5 seconds. So yeah, it was. I had a great race. I didn't have any issues. I was kind of more or less kind of relaxed for a change. Really, it wasn't stressy out or anything like that. When I got the 5 seconds, I kind of knew that all I had to do is stay behind myself, and then I know that I would have had obviously a number 2 because of Sniper, obviously. But just one of them things. I would have liked to have got the number 1, but he did a better job in respect of not getting penalties. But it would have been nice if he just got one. I did actually keep it above the 2 second constantly. and that's why I took over Salve at the end, because I thought, well, he's catching him, so I ended up taking over him and using the last kind of 2 laps just to try and pull some space, really, just in case he did get a penalty for like a 3-second penalty. So I would have kind of just about cooked him.
Fair enough, but I think you gave the longest answer in RDL history, but we of course all very insightful. Of course, you gave Sniper a run for his money in the mid portion of the race before the stops. I mean, how was it fighting him for a change?
Yeah, it's good. I've just, to be fair, I think my pace is actually this season. It is definitely there. Maybe on some tracks, these lads have maybe got an extra half a tenth on a lap from me, but on this track, it just kind of played out really well. And the last kind of, I obviously made a stupid mistake when I went to the pits and put bloody and kept softs on instead of putting inters on, obviously by mistake, and that totally killed me. I could have had probably P2, P3. In my next 2 races, to no fault of my own, I just got caught up in other people's accidents, and that was just where there's nothing on purpose. It was just it just obviously made a mistake and then took me out in the meantime. So they obviously haven't done anything on purpose. So just one of them things really. And it was just hopefully I'm just kind of quite pleased that I've kind of proved to myself that that my pace is actually still there, if you will.
Yeah, it's been there all season. You've been there and about regularly in the points and contending for podiums as well. Of course, 12 more rounds to go. If you had to give me one race that you think you could potentially score another win at, what do you think it would be?
I'm pretty all right at all of them, to be fair. The only one I'm not really all right with as yet is Las Vegas. I've probably been on that track about 5 times, as in not racing, just 5 lappers really. So I'm gonna have to put my head down on that. But otherwise, I'm relatively kind of 95% on all of them really. I'm not a 100% driver. I always prefer to kind of stay on the track and maybe not limit myself too much, and then otherwise I make too many mistakes. So I can always put my pace up a little bit. Then I feel like I overdrive a little bit. Then mistakes start happening. So, but I'm pretty strong. I think I'm pretty strong throughout, realistically.
All right, sounds good. We'll look forward to seeing it over the second half of the season. Oh yeah, congratulations on the podium once again, and perhaps we'll see you back in there soon.
Thank you. Cheers, guys. All right.
No worries. Okay, right. So that more or less kept the stream for us then, Pope. Welcome back to the comments box. How'd you find it for your first time back?
It was good. A little bit rusty on the edges, but it's nice to be back. Obviously, I mean, I got what I wanted out of this season, which was win at Monaco and Coventry and get a first season under the belt. So hopefully it's been all right, and yeah, it's been enjoyable. It's like I say, good to be back.
Hopefully we'll get you singing at some stage in the season. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the stream. That'll more or less wrap it off for us here at the RDL Studios, or whatever we call it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. We'll hopefully see some more content over the course of the week. Perhaps a few shorts about the race here and there. So very close stuff. All the more to look forward to. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and we shall see you next week for the Hungarian Grand Prix, which will be taking place on the 25th. This time, same time next week, same time, same place. So until then, have a wonderful evening, and we will see you next time. Goodbye. And we're out. Solid.